Hello, my fabulous fifth graders. It's Miss Freitas, your magical math teacher. Hi, I just wanted to get on here and kind of go over a few differences that you're going to see when you guys log on to math this year. Florida Virtual School's done a little bit of extra stuff that might look a little weird to those of you guys that have been with virtual for a while. So the first thing you guys will notice is, hello, there's our announcement page. You'll see for math, everything is Harry Potter themed for you. So you've got everything ready for you. We're going to kind of go over that in a little bit. But first of all, I wanted to start with your lessons. So again, you'll notice this kind of looks the same. Nothing different here. The differences are when you get into the actual lessons. Now watch this, guys. All right, so first things first, you're going to notice there are some different little helpful hints here. We've got a welcome folder. You can see it has all kinds of information there, especially that academic integrity. Remind yourself of that one. We've got grading policies, all kinds of stuff. You'll also see that we have a getting started. What this is great is to just remind you what you can use here in Florida Virtual School. Of course, the text-to-speech is really nice, especially if you've been reading a lot and you're like, oh, and my eyes are starting to hurt. You can literally just sit there and listen to it. Okay. It also talks again about what you're going to learn, and they have some important information on each of these. So just check them below and go ahead and get yourself started. All right. So I just wanted to show you that little area. Now, that's not even the most amazing part. Just wait. When we actually get into the lesson, we'll be starting with place value. Here's where you're going to notice the difference. Notice last time they had nothing about how long it should take. As a teacher, I love this because last year I had students that would literally finish an entire lesson in like 10 minutes, maybe 20. And I could never understand how could they read through 5 slides and do a worksheet in that amount of time. Here's what I found out. They weren't reading through the lesson. All they did was go to the last slide, and if it said take a quiz, they went and took a quiz. If it said do the worksheet, they just went and did the worksheet. So now, at home teachers, your parents or guardians there that are going to be helping you, this is going to tell you how long it should take them for the lesson. You'll notice this first week, I'll show you on the pacing guide later, we only have lesson 1.01 and 1.02. So if they're doing 4 days of school, because you know some kids like Friday off, you can go ahead and look. Okay, well 90 minutes. I don't want to sit for 90 minutes. So maybe do the lesson for your 60 minutes and then come back and maybe do the assessment later. But let's go ahead and look at one of these lessons so I can show you just why these are so important for you. So you'll notice this kind of looks the same. All right, we've got all of our little skills here on the thing, your resources, you know, your speech tool, all of this is the same. But skipping this is where we have problems. And the reason I say this is, guys, I had some students last year, like I told you, were just going and taking the quizzes. They weren't learning about this, or the worst part, they weren't taking notes on it. So when it came to them at the end of the year of doing the FSA, and we were doing all of our FSA practice, they had no clue what I was talking about when I was talking about a place value chart, because they didn't do the lesson. So it's so important. This is like being back in brick and mortar, having your math book in front of you, watching a video sometimes of someone teaching you like a teacher does. So it's so important that you don't skip this. You'll notice this lesson only has 5 pages. So it's not like it's like a 20-page lesson for you guys to do. So you'll notice they introduce it, they give you a little warm-up, which tells you, hey, this is what you should already know from 4th grade, and here's your place value chart. This is where taking notes, this math notebook that they mention, guys, is so important. You need a spiral notebook or a composition notebook or a binder for math if you want. It's so important, not just for 5th grade, but for middle school. I taught middle school, guys, and we had to grade my students' notes. We were an avid school, and I had to give them every 9 weeks, I had to grade them on their notes. So I want to make sure that you guys are ready for 6th grade next year by telling you guys how important it is to take those notes so that you can help remind yourself and remember everything that you've learned. All right, so that math book is so important, that math notebook. I also wanted to show you guys these warm-up answers. Now, it's important to know when they're giving you the answers, why are they giving me the answers? You know, as a student, when I was back in 5th grade, Mr. Denemy's class, I'd be like, wait a minute, they're giving me the answers? Oh, great. What they're doing is they're doing that for a brain check. So you're going to want to do the questions first on your own and then check the answers and see, oh, wait a minute, I got all of these right. Yippee, I know how to do this. It may also tell you, oh, wait a minute, I missed 3? Ooh, I may need to hit Miss Freitas up in one of her Zoom lessons or her help sessions so that she can show me what I'm doing wrong so that I don't keep getting the wrong answers. So it's so important to take the time to do that. That's what you guys are. You're independent learners. You're building yourself to be lifelong learners. You've got middle school, high school, college, maybe even your master's and doctorates. Who knows? You could be president of the United States one day. Wouldn't that be awesome? I want to go to your inauguration. Just give me that invite. All right, back to math. All right, so the next thing is I wanted to point out is the vocabulary. This guys makes it so easy for you. They give it a beautiful color that just catches your eye. And look, when I click on it, whoa, I don't even have to go to a dictionary like I would have had to do back in the old days, you know, back in the Little House on the Prairie time. Google search that. Anyway, place value. It gives you the definition for it for you to put in your notebook. Now, I recommend don't just write that definition. See if you can give an example of it that you're going to be learning about in this lesson. Because a definition from a dictionary sometimes can be confusing. But if you have an example of what it is, you're going to remember that picture or you're going to remember what you drew there or what you wrote there to remember it. What I love is this place value chart. Oh my goodness, this is a beautiful one. And you'll notice, remember when we had the warm-up? 4th grade, you guys only had to know from 100,000s to ones. Look at 5th grade. We go all the way to 100 millions, all the way to thousandths in our decimals. This is so important for you to draw. Get out a poster paper, get out some copier paper, you know, get something nice and big. Draw this out and put it up in your at-home classroom. Give yourself a little place where you can put your artwork so that I can see it when you guys come to Zoom. It's a great way for you guys to remember them if they're right there in front of them. When you guys come to Zoom, you're going to see I have a whiteboard behind me, and I'm always taking notes throughout the lesson because, you know, I'm old. I got to remember all this math stuff because, you know, it's different sometimes. But you want to make sure that you're drawing that so that you guys can learn from it. Again, you'll notice they've given some examples. Look at all of this is just on the very first page. They're reading out numbers to you. Oh my goodness, guys. Look how long the very first page is. Could you imagine if you skipped this? And that's just page 1. When we go to page 2, again, you're going to notice they're giving you, again, more definitions. They've got a nice little slider activity for you guys to do. They're giving you helpful tips. A helpful tip is definitely something you're going to want to have in your notes because if they're telling you this is a tip, then that means a lot of kids probably used to get it wrong. Again, they're giving you examples, so you can put examples in your notebook so you can refer to it. I love these examples. They've got the standard form, then they give you a tab for expanded form. And look, more examples. Imagine again if you guys skipped this and just went to the worksheet or the quiz. Now for word form. This is your next thing. How do I take a number and write it perfectly in word form? Miss Clark loves when you guys get to write in math, so she'll love this one. But if you take a look, again, they're giving you examples. So many things for you to take down. And look what they're also giving you. There's a practice. Now, guys, yeah, you don't get a grade on this, but you know what? It's practice. I don't have to do all of these problems. I could say, oh, wow, look, I'm going to do this one right here. That one looks good, so I'm going to try writing that in expanded form and word form. Oh, this one looks challenging. I always like the challenging ones because if I get them right, I feel like I'm like really smart, like Albert Einstein. So I always like to challenge myself. decide on what you guys like. But I would say you just probably only need to do 3. If you get those 3 correct, then you don't need to do the rest. It's all good. It's just practice. All right. So you want to take some time to do those. Now, then they give you those answers. So after you do it, go and check it. If you got them right, you're like, oh, yes, I got my 3 right. I can move on. If you got one wrong, or 2 wrong, or maybe all of them wrong, that's telling you practice a little bit more. Maybe try another one, or come to my Zoom. I'm there, guys. You'll see my schedule on my announcement page starting next week of when I'm in there. I'm usually in there every afternoon, sometimes in the morning, if it's not a live lesson or an equipped tutoring session. So please make sure you guys come on in. I'm here to help you. All right, and then we've got our page 4, which in my opinion is so important to never skip also. It's giving you the summary about what you learned, but look at this. It gives you a self-check review. Again, take this. If you ace it, you know you're going to be ready for the test, or shall I say the quiz, or the assignment that follows. If you get this wrong, then that's telling me, oh, wait a minute, I need to go back and review this lesson because I missed something. I didn't understand that question. So again, as independent learners, this is so important for you to take the time to do. And then for our very last one, you'll see it wraps up. It says, read the lesson. I did it. Check. Number 1 is done. Number 2, did I complete those activities in the lesson? Oh, yeah, I did. Yep, I'm on to number 3. And it's a quiz. And if you remember, the quizzes are right there under assessments. You can even get it in your grade book. Now, what I wanted to do is go back to the lessons because I want to show you what I've done for you. And I think that might have to be a part 2 lesson. So, yeah, I'm going to do this as a part 2. So just real quick, I showed you guys what you guys have new for the lessons. I've talked about how important it is to go through every one of those pages of the lessons. And 3, have that notebook next to you, taking those notes, writing down examples, getting that vocabulary there. Even if you want to take note cards, if you have note cards, write the vocabulary words on there. You could put the vocab word on one side and the definition on the back. And when it comes to when you have the assessment, you've already got yourself a little game that you can play with somebody. They could quiz you all the time. So, all right, this is my part 1. I am done, and I'm going to come back for part 2 and show you, hey, what do I do if I don't have a printer? What do I do if I don't have a printer and I have a worksheet to do? I'm going to show you ahead as to what I've got for you. See you guys later and can't wait to see you in Zoom.